So this is my first of 3 mock drafts. I'm gonna put one obviously right now. The second one is going to be after the combine, before free agency. And then the third video is gonna be after free agency, after the combine. And I am so excited for this video, guys. So let's just start it off.
The city of the dream team, Hakeem, Turing, Beyonce, yeah, man. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block made a hot spin.
Welcome back to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I'm your host, Ruben Calvillo, and let's start off the mock draft. The Houston Texans, with the 57th pick in the second round, need to draft Anfernee Jennings. Guys, Anfernee Jennings, the defensive end from Alabama, he is an absolute stud. 6'3", 260 pounds. He was banged up a little bit, but still continued to play. He put up 83 total tackles along with 8 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception. The dude is a straight up baller. He is huge. He could play outside linebacker and he could play defensive end, which he really was at Alabama. He was a Nick Saban guy. He was one of the leaders, on that defense. He played great in the national championship game. He played great this season against LSU. He was all over the place. He's great against the run. He's great against the pass. He is a playmaker. Wherever the ball is going to be, that's where Jennings is. And I just am super excited to find out where he's going to go. I hope he ends up on the Texans because he could be a difference maker here. The Houston Texans, they lacked pass rush. We couldn't sack Patrick Mahomes. And, during playoffs, that's when it absolutely counts. So adding somebody like Anfernee Jennings is going to be absolutely astronomical for these Houston Texans. Now, let's keep it going with another defensive player. With the 101 pick in the third round of the draft, the Houston Texans should draft Darrell Taylor, edge rusher from Tennessee. Guys, he is another baller. He is so big, 6'4", 255. He had 46 total tackles, 8.5 sacks, a forced fumble. He's great off the edge. He's super fast. He could get to the quarterback. People have to game plan for Taylor, and he was just an absolute force for Tennessee. Many times that he was getting double teamed and he beat him. If you leave him one-on-one, he's going to take down that man and get to the quarterback, get to the running back. Another thing, you could drop him back in coverage because he's so fast. He is a freak of nature. A lot of experts are saying that this guy is going to be a gem. He is going to be a star. And why not bring him to a team that needs defense like the Houston Texans? Because like I said, with Anfernee Jennings, we need a pass rush. And he could do that. As much as I love Jacob Martin is a situational pass rusher. He only has speed. Taylor put his hands in the dirt, could go get the quarterback, go get the running back, and he could just drop back in coverage as well. He will be an absolute force for this Houston Texans defense. And hey, our first 2 picks, we chose defense. Why? Because our offense is stout. But defense wins championships, and defense was one of the reasons why we lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes literally broke a record against us, 7 straight touchdowns. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. Adding these 2 players, Anfernee Jennings and Darrell Taylor, solidifies his defense and brings it up to maybe, top 15, top 10. And I'm super excited. I can't wait for this draft for these 2. On to the 4th round. With the 108th pick, the Houston Texans should draft wide receiver Denzel Mims out of Baylor. Guys, this is another speedster. He was absolutely dynamic for the Baylor Bears. 215 pounds, 6'3" wide receiver, 66 catches, 1,020 yards along with 12 touchdowns. He was absolute balling. He was the #1 wide receiver. When they needed crucial catches, that's what he went to. He is a speed guy. He could win the 50-50 ball. Whenever the Baylor Bears were in a pinch, they called his name and he always thrived. And what better to come into, a Houston Texans offense that has DeAndre Hopkins, that has Will Fuller when healthy, that has Kenny Still. He could come in, learn from these veterans, and be a key contributor. And, with Fuller being injured a lot of the times, he could get a lot of playing time. We've seen before, rookie wide receivers come and step up, like Vincent Smith, Steven Mitchell. Why not bring in somebody like Mims, who's been very big in college, and come and help this Houston Texans defense? He's pretty big, man. Like I said, he's 6'3". He was the reason why Baylor Bears, what they were, a very good football team, coming in here is going to just be super ecstatic. A big jolt for this Houston Texans offense. Now, with the 128th pick in the 4th round, the Houston Texans should sign Marcus Bailey, linebacker out of Purdue, and this is going to be one of my gems. one of my hidden stars, could come in from this Houston Texans team and make a difference on defense. Why? Because we don't know what's going to happen with Bernard McKinney. We know that the Houston Texans are going to trade for him. No, trade him away, or they want to. We're just waiting to see what happens. But Marcus Bailey, he was a little injured at 2019, but 2018, this is what he put out. 115 tackles, 5.5 sacks, interception. He could drop back in coverage, and that is something that the Houston Texans need, is a linebacker who could be in coverage. Bernard McKinney was absolutely horrible in coverage. He gave up the most yards. He gave up 6 touchdowns. He didn't intercept. He didn't have a pass defense. That's what Marcus Bailey is great at. You could put him in coverage, and he could run with the running backs. He could run with the tight ends, and he's great against the run. He's great against the pass. He can do everything. The reason why he's going to fall to the 4th round is because he was injured. And, when he's not injured, he could literally be a 2nd to 3rd round pick. But he's going to be there. The Houston Texans should definitely get him and help solidify this linebacking core. Because, I love Dylan Cole, but Dylan Cole cannot stay healthy. And if we're trying to trade BMAC, let's bring in somebody like Marcus Bailey to learn from Zach Cunningham. Because I think Zach Cunningham is going to be one of the best linebackers in the league. Learn from Zach Cunningham, and he could come in as a day one and be a key contributor for this Houston Texans defense. Now, with the 172 pick in the 5th round, the Houston Texans should get Julian Blackmon, safety out of Utah, 6'1", 204 pounds, 60 total tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, along with 4 interceptions. He is an absolute beast as a safety. And the reason why I think we should take a safety, which might be a surprise to some people, is I love Tashawn Gibson, but Tashawn Gibson is getting up there in age. We have him for about 3 more years, I believe, unless we cut him. But Blackmon could come in and learn from him, and he could pretty much see some playing time because, like I said, our secondary is banged up. Justin Reed played the season hurt, and he missed a couple games. Tashawn Gibson missed our playoff run where he could have been a huge difference. So adding somebody like Blackmon could come in and pretty much help this defense, and he could learn from these two and become a good safety. I clearly see Justin Blackmon and Justin Reed being one of the best safety tandems in the NFL. For those of you who don't know, he's just an absolute beast. He was one of the captains on Utah, and he had a knack for getting the football. His 3-year career there, he had almost 12 interceptions. He had 4 his freshman season, 2 his sophomore, and another 4 his junior. He's an absolute beast. He is a ball hog. He is a big hitter. He's going to make flashy plays. He was a multi-star athlete in high school, a multi-sport athlete in college. He could come in and make a huge difference on this team. Now, in the 7th round, with the 241 pick, the Houston Texans should get Julian Rochester, defensive tackle out of Georgia. This man is absolutely huge. He is 6'5", 300 pounds. He was hurt all 2019 season. But in 2018, he had a pretty good season. He had almost 30 tackles along with a couple sacks. His main thing is he's great against the run. And, who knows what's going to happen with DJ Reader. I hope we sign him. We might franchise tag him. But bringing in somebody like Julian, he's just a force against the run. He can really help this defense in situations like goal line. Just we need a big stop on 31. He could be there and help this Texans defense. Now, for our last pick, with the 249 pick in the 7th round, the Houston Texans should draft A.J. Dillon, running back out of Boston College. Guys, this dude is an absolute freak of nature. He's 6 feet. He is 250 pounds as a running back. He had 1,500 yards along with 14 touchdowns. Why is he not, higher? Because he goes to Boston College, which is known for just running the ball. And, he had 300 attempts. So that comes down to maybe about 5 yards a carry. But nevertheless, he's an absolute freak of nature. He could run over you. He's an inside, the box kind of running back. He kind of reminds me of a LeGarrette Blount, but he has speed, and he could take off at any moment, and he could just run you over. He could be a goal line running back. Carlos Hyde was good, but when you have a 250-pound running back like A.J. Dillon who could just punch it in, that just excites me for what the Houston Texans can do with A.J. Dillon. He's going to be there. He's a 7th round pick. I am super excited at the chance to get an A.J. Dillon. So there you have it, guys. This was my first of 3 mock drafts. I haven't made the mock draft with the comp picks yet. I wanted to make them before the combine, before free agency, because these mock drafts are going to change left and right. But as always, guys, let me know what you guys think. Should we trade up? Should we trade down? Who should we draft? Who shouldn't we draft? who are going to be the hidden gems that we could find in the late rounds. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I know, like, I'm always in the comments. You know, if you comment, I'm going to answer you back. But as always, guys, go Texans. This was a fun weekend. The Houston Roughnecks had their game. I was there. I'm gonna post my, the videos that I took there. But as always, guys, go Texans. You guys have a blessed day.